Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to paint on black paper. I have a specific black paper sketchbook that I don't really use as sketchbook. I just take off the pages, the sheets, and I use them to paint and to draw. Then I usually stick them in my other sketchbook that you have already seen, the Moleskine sketchbook, because I like to have everything at the same place. I'm gonna use this new masking tape, washi tape, I think you also called it. This one is good. I bought it on Amazon. I'm gonna put you the link in the description box if you're interested, because you have a lot of them, and yeah, you'll see at the end it's perfect. You just can take it off very easily, and you have a lot of colors, and yeah, it's really nice. I'm gonna also talk about how to paint on black paper. You can also paint on black canvas, but I will talk about that in other videos. Today I'm gonna also share with you some tips, and please feel free to ask any questions or also share with us some tips or advice in the comments. If you want, you can prepare your paper with some washi tapes if you want to have clean edges, but you don't have to do that. It depends on the result you want and if you're going to paint the edges actually. Because what's nice with black paper is that you can use the black of the paper as the background if you want to paint something on it and keep some black around the painting. That's very interesting. I'm gonna do a little bit of that, but I'm still gonna paint some of the edges. As usual, you have all the information about what I'm using in the description box, so feel free to check it out. I'm using the same palette as I used in my previous video, and I'm adding some new colors just to have some more and some fresh gouache. Gouache is very good to paint on black paper. You can also use acrylics. I will show you that in another video. But yeah, I love to use gouache, and gouache is very matte. I love that because the black paper is also matte, so I don't know, I feel like it's really nice together. You can pretty much paint whatever you want to paint on black paper. You just have to think about the colors and use pretty light colors if you want to have a nice contrast, and if you also want to have the black of the paper to be part of the background. I think it's interesting to do that, and as when you paint with watercolor on white paper, use the white of the paper. It's kind of the same thing, but you don't have to do that, and you can paint all the edges and paint like it's regular paper. But I mean, you'll see that you have to use more lighter colors, and you'll see that if you have some transparency, the colors that are transparent will be darker than the colors that are opaque. So it's just the opposite of painting on white paper. If you want your colors to be vibrant, they have to be opaque, and if you want something a bit more darker, then use the transparency. And you can play with both. It's very interesting, and I don't know, it's like shaping in the dark. I don't know how to describe that, but that's how it feels to me. And I don't know, I just love painting on black. It's easier sometimes to me, and it's very fun. Let me know if you have already tried or if you want to try. I would love to know. I don't know why, but I decided to paint a front door here. I used a reference, but I completely changed the colors and also part of the reference, so something a bit new, and I think it's interesting. I love painting buildings and I love everything about architecture, but sometimes it takes too long to paint. I think this took me less than 2 hours, like maybe a bit more than one, so it's pretty quick, simple. You don't necessarily need to draw before, and it's nice to play with colors and with the black of the paper. So let me know what you think. If you like to paint on black paper, let me know what you like to paint. I usually paint flowers. I also paint some buildings, some simple landscape, usually by night. Sometimes just some scene, very simple scenes. That's my favorite things to paint on black paper, and also black canvas actually. Let me know what's yours or what you would like to try. I've already told you that, but usually when you use gouache on paper, I mean at least this gouache, when the paint dries, the color change a little bit, so it's even more real on black paper. I feel like the color changes even more, which is interesting. I don't mind that. It's like a surprise. You're applying something and you don't really know how it will turn out, so I don't mind that because I'm not planning on my painting and I like to adapt to it. But I think it could be something annoying to other people, and if you want to do something very precise and if you want to get a very specific color, that could be a little bit tricky and sometimes annoying. At the same time, it's really fun, and I see it more like that, something to adapt to and to play with. To be honest, I feel like sometimes my videos are a bit too long because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. So really please feel free to ask me any questions because you can see the whole process, and I like to keep the whole process so you can really see everything about what I'm doing and see all the colors applying and how the painting comes to life. So I hope you like that because it's the quickest I can create with my software. So I cannot go faster. So yep, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I can either go very very fast or go that fast. So that's all I can do. I'm gonna also use some pastels on this painting. You'll see that. But you can also draw on black paper. You can use some white or very light colors of pencils. You can use watercolor pencils, you can use classic pencils or pastels pencils. I think it's very interesting to use pastels on gouache. It goes very well together, and you can do some things very precise, and I don't know, the result is different. And dry pastels, soft pastels are also matte, so it's really nice together, and I think it's very interesting too. It adds some touches, interesting touches, so I like to do that sometimes. Again, you don't have to do that, it's just an idea to try, something to try. Sometimes it's also interesting to use gouache and acrylics, and you can actually use gouache, acrylics, and soft pastels. I would recommend you to use acrylics at the end for the last step, so that's what I usually do, and that works pretty well. I would say acrylics on the dry pastel, it's not the best, but you can use it on the gouache part of your painting, and it will be very interesting too because you have more shine and you can add texture. You can do very interesting things too. Here I'm painting some pretty abstract flowers. I think it's interesting and pretty on this painting, and yeah, it's for spring, even if we cannot enjoy spring at the moment. Like, it's so pretty outside, but yeah, the confinement is pretty hard at the moment. But I mean, it's okay. So I'm almost done here. I could have left my painting there, but yeah, as I said, I wanted to add a little bit more details and use some pastels, soft pastels. It won't really make a big difference, but I think it's pretty nice and I like how it looks at the end, so that's the most important to me. So yeah, let me know what you think of it, and if you want to paint this painting you can actually reproduce it. Yeah, feel free to reproduce my sketchbook sessions paintings. I would love to see what you're doing, and you can actually post on Instagram using the hashtag paint with Ursula. So please, I would love to see what you have done, and even if you don't paint what I'm painting and maybe paint while you're watching my videos, I would love to see what you have painted. So yeah, please. And I could also share it in my stories, so I would love to. I'm just adding a bit more pastels here, and I actually like to blend using my finger, and yeah, I don't do something very crazy there. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and I really like how it looks at the end. So let me know what you think. Please feel free to be inspired by it and do something similar. I would love to see that. And also let me know what you would like to see in my next videos, and if you have any questions or any suggestions, I would love to know. I'm going to take off the washi tape, the masking tape, and it's very easy to take off, so it's perfect, it's really nice. And that's the result. Let me know what you think of this painting, and please like and subscribe if you want to keep watching my videos. I can't wait to read you in the comments, please, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!